This is the UGS Podcast, featuring the latest in forthcoming releases, event reviews, upcoming events, interviews, competitions, and music news. This is the best in electronic music news from across the north of England and worldwide.
So for the last 2 months, I've been going hell for leather on this thing to get this brand new UGS podcast produced and released for the 1st of May. And it is the 1st of May, which means I did it. Yes! No half-hearted attempts at all. I spent a lot of my own pocket money on this, and I'm finally ready to get this show on the road. I hope you're going to like the new project. Give it a whirl on your social media, and you never know, might just give you a shout out. I won't really, but if you can find me out and about in Manchester, I'll buy you a drink, as long as it's cheap. Let me know your thoughts on the new project. You can always get me on Twitter at UGS Paul Banks. Don't skip through this podcast, I know what you all like. Sit back, get your techno fist up, help do some bedroom shuffling for all I care.
Undergroundsource.co.uk.
I'll be interviewing the relentlessly hot duo Jay and Couto. And yes, I do have a massive crush on their production work. These two make up the impressive project Climbers. They'll be discussing their new imprint Faceless Recordings and their first release on the label known as Left Your Love. The man who has developed Ibiza's most exciting workers' party will be popping in for a chat. His name is Andy Young, and his night departure is set for an incredible season this year, and he will also be discussing his mighty Vertigo Festival set to happen in August and his Sankeys Ibiza manager role. We have tracks coming from Chaim, Audio Jack, Dale Howard, Kick Snare, and you'll also be getting a taste of what the departure residents are sounding like just before you head over to Ibiza for this season. The one and only Butch will be taking over the UGS Guest mix at the end of the show, so hold tight and just enjoy the new UGS podcast.
Stay up to date with the UGS Podcast and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/UGS Music News.
You can also find us at SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/undergroundsource. Visit the UGS Podcast feed, the home of the UGS Podcast, at undergroundsource.co.uk/UGS Podcast feed. You'll find everything you need to know about all of our shows right on that page. And if you haven't already shared this project, go and share it.
undergroundsource.co.uk.
As soon as I heard this track from Darius, Syrossian and Hector Couto, known as House is House, I just had to put this straight onto the UGS podcast. It's due out on Hot Creations on the 13th of May, and it will be included in their 4-track EP known as Who's the Douche.
I like to say one motherfucking thing. With a last bit of energy. With a last bit of energy. With a last bit of energy. With a last bit of energy.
undergroundsource.co.uk. Stay up to date with the UGS Podcast and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/UGS Music News.
So up next is Kicksnare and his track Gucci Dough. You can of course get this for free from the Accelerator magazine. You can find the download link in the description. He's an up and coming artist and deserves all of your attention. And straight after this track, I'm going to be introducing you to the first feature of the show called the UGS Picks. This is where the UGS team get together once a month to pick out some of the best upcoming events in Manchester, Liverpool and Nottingham, and showcase some great forthcoming releases.
Like you was a supermodel, had your little Gucci dough. Like you was a supermodel, had your little Gucci dough. Like you was a supermodel, had your little Gucci dough. Like you was a supermodel, had your little Gucci dough. Like you was a supermodel, had your little Gucci dough. Like you was a supermodel, had your little Gucci dough. Like you was a supermodel, had your little Gucci dough.
undergroundsource.co.uk.
was a supermodel. Had your little Gucci doge like you was a supermodel. Had your little Gucci doge like you was a supermodel. Had your little Gucci doge like you was a supermodel. Had your little Gucci doge like you was a supermodel. Had your little Gucci doge like you was a supermodel.
Right, let's roll on the UGS picks.
The UGS picks, showcasing the very best in latest releases and upcoming events chosen by the UGS team.
Okay, so the UGS picks aims to promote the very best in upcoming events and latest and forthcoming releases. And this month's UGS picks is mainly based around this bank holiday weekend's event action, and we're going to have one hell of a remix track from Audio Jack right at the end of it. So what's this weekend looking like then? Limbo will be hosting Kevin Saunderson this Friday, the 3rd of May. They recently moved to South from Joshua Brooks, and they've packed out their last two events with Finn Basson and Hot Since 82. I was there on the opening night with Finn Basson, amazing stuff. At the other half of UGS and Becca Franklin, one of our writers, head down to Hot Since 82. Absolutely amazing once again. So if you're not doing anything Friday night, get yourself down there. Now then, if you're still holding out until later into the bank holiday weekend, then head down to Gorilla for a night with Digitaria. The venue has been getting huge praises recently, and it's one I'll certainly be checking out myself. Digitaria are definitely a project who are pushing new sounds. They've dominated Hot Creations with 2 releases already, and their latest release was praised by Lethos as the label's best yet. These guys play live, they really are something else. They're good friends of Underground Source, so we'll be there supporting them, and you can still get your tickets for this one, so go get them there. Now then, it wasn't long ago when Sankeys announced the Manchester-based club will be closing its doors indefinitely. Really bad news for the Manchester scene, I must admit. They're now going to concentrate on Sankeys Ibiza, so all the good for this summer. Andy Young will be touching a little bit on this shortly in his interview with us. This is on the scale of that saying the club closing down. There's no doubt about that. It's happening all over again, and the Manchester scene really won't be the same without the club. So it really does deserve one hell of a send-off, and they're not holding back on the closing weekend either. It's a very long weekend, so go and check out the UGS podcast feed for more on these events. Tickets are very scarce, if not already sold out, so if you haven't already got a ticket, go and get scavenging. Don't hold back. And if you're still up for partying after the bank holiday weekend, you can see the guy who is still to this day, and I've seen a lot of DJs, he's the one artist who has completely blown me away with his ability. During his set last season at Sankeys Ibiza, he was on another scale. His name is Butch, and he will be playing at Gorilla on the 10th of May for Exhibit. You can still get tickets to this by heading over to Skiddle, and be sure to check out Exhibit's Facebook page. And now we're going to move on to this amazing Audio Jack remix. It's going to be appearing on a forthcoming EP from Hugo. It's called Hugonomics, and it's due out on Groove on the 27th of May. It includes the remix from Audio Jack and one from Copy Paste Soul. You can get it on vinyl and digital. Now, every single track on here is brilliant, but this Audio Jack remix, when I first heard it, I was blown away. It never stops dropping, it keeps getting you over and over again. And I really couldn't pick a better track to finish the UGS picks. So this is Audio Jack, and it's his remix of Joint is Jumping, and it's out on the 27th of May.
The UGS picks, showcasing the very best in latest releases and upcoming events chosen by the UGS team. UGS team.
To stare into the sun.
Source.co.uk. undergroundsource.co.uk. undergroundsource.co.uk.
Up next is my interview with Climbers. I was really grateful these guys sat down and did the interview with me on Skype the other day. Great insight into what they're doing with their forthcoming label and their first release, Left Your Love, so here it is. Right, so you've probably had one of the most impressive early careers that anybody sort of could have wished for in the music industry. It's been an incredible watch to see you guys throughout your first year and sort of 8 months that it's been. It all started when your first release hit on Nervous Recordings, known as My Life EP. At the time, did you have any idea what was waiting around the corner for you?
Well, first of all, thank you for those words. I mean, since we started, to tell you the truth, we always thought that the best thing to do is just have fun, but we didn't know how big it will get to the point that now we are touring. So we are like so overwhelmed sometimes that we're playing in so many places that we never dream of, you know?
Yeah, completely. I mean, you know, within 6 months, you rocked up on labels such as Culprit LA, Manchester-based label Perp and Soul, Get Physical Music, Mexa Records, and a whole load of other labels. I mean, that is really an impressive 6 months for any sort of artist at any level. How did it feel at the time after that, after your 6 months? What was the feeling behind Climbers?
We couldn't believe we did all those releases because, like Jay say, at the beginning everything was a game. I remember really good the day Jay told me like we're gonna sign with this label. I remember the day of Culprit really good. Yeah. I was like, no man, I couldn't understand what was happening. Yeah, I was like, okay, cool, but after the 6 months I started understanding like, oh my god, this is big, you know? This is
yeah, big. I mean, it must be a pretty surreal moment, sort of saying, it's sort of in your life sort of passion, and to sort of get signed to a big label, it must be a massive feeling for the pair of you.
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's like, I don't know, like having a baby or something. Pretty cool. Well, I don't have babies, but I think something like that.
Right, so would you say there was a sort of element of luck, or would you say it was all down to hard work and the know-how?
I think for us, Kiko and I, when we're friends from high school, so since we started being friends, we had one thing in common that's the law of attraction. So we think a lot about having a positive mind and thinking where you want to go in life, and then work towards that, even though you don't know exactly if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think it has to be a lot of hard work, a lot of good thinking, and obviously a little bit of luck in terms of meeting the right people at the right time.
Yeah, totally.
And that's the way we always work, you know? Like, we think the best muscle in the human is the mind, so that's what we work always.
Yeah, very wise words. You're both from Mexicali in Mexico, and just for those who don't know, can you just describe where that is?
Well, Mexico is on the north, just the border between Mexico and the US, and it's like 2 hours driving from San Diego.
Brilliant, not bad. And what's the house scene like out there then?
The house scene is when we started, it was like growing a lot.
Yeah.
Then a little. Right now, I think it's good because they're coming great acts, but at the same time, it's evolving. It's like there's the new generation coming, and it's like everything. When it starts evolving, it takes its time to settle.
Yeah.
But it's healthy to see younger people going to the party.
Undergroundsource.co.uk.
Alright, cool. So what's the background behind Climbers then? How did it all start?
Oh, well, I think we started like 2 years ago, approx.
In the couch?
I remember I was working in some other projects and with music, but I remember that day I went with Jay and we were talking about quit music, you know, because things wasn't doing it right.
Really?
Yeah. And that day we were in the couch in Jay's apartment. We're talking. I was like, dude, I'm gonna quit music. I think I'm done. I'm gonna do my career. I'm a lodger. Well, we both are lodgers. And he said like, no, bro, we should do something together. Just like have fun, you know, to have a track. And one day when we're old, to show that to our kids and they can laugh about when we're young. We did this track. And I was like, nah, man. I don't want to do more tracks. I'm done. I'm going to be a lodger. I'm going to buy a bunch of suits and ties or something. And you think, oh, come on, man.
I bet the pair of you are glad that you stuck with the music then.
Yeah, man. So he told me, you have something to do? And I was like, no, actually not. So we want to do the track. And I was like, well, okay. So we started doing this track. And after the day, we did another track. Suddenly we started looking like we got something. And
brilliant.
One day Jane came and told me we should have a name. We should call ourselves Climbers. And I was like, Climbers? Fuck no, man. I don't like that. I don't know. So they started liking it. And he's played me the whole story about this name. And I was like, I think this is cool. I love this.
Yeah.
This
so what is the meaning behind the name then, Climbers?
Well, like I told you before, like, I think when Kiko was doing his music and I was doing my music, we had this wrong idea that the music industry is like you have to aim for the top, you know?
Yeah.
And when you realize that sometimes in life, when you're climbing a mountain, it's better to just sit back sometimes in the middle of the mountain and enjoy that you just climb a big rock, or you see the trees that are so beautiful, or the side of the city. So that's why I told Kiko, each time someone calls Climbers, we realize that we are so grateful for everything we made and everything we have, you know?
Undergroundsource.co.uk.
moving on to the main reason that you're here now, guys. You know, you're on top of an incredible 2 years. You're set to start your own imprint known as Faceless Recordings. You'll be doing it alongside London-based artists Silky and Barber. So just talk us through the imprint up to now. How did it all come about?
Well, we met Silky and Barber through our friend Joanna
Myers, which is
she's her agent, and straight away we felt the vibe around Silky and Barber. You know, like these guys are such a great people. You know, so I just fell in love the way that these guys take care of their music and the way they are with people. You know, because I'm a people's person. Or I don't know how to call it, but I love to interact with people. So at one point we were at the dinner and I told them, you know what, Chico and I, we have an idea of making a label. We should start the label, and Silky and Barber straight away said yes. And the label we started because I think we come, as you can see, our track sometimes doesn't feel like dance music. Yeah. Feels more like a whole track, I think. So that's why we are trying to push that sound also, not just dance music, but music in general, you know?
Alright, so what will your sort of specific roles be in the label? What will be your daily tasks?
Well, the daily tasks are like Kiko normally hears the demos and I do all the PR and ask friends for remixes and stay in tune with the artists and see what they are for or where they want to evolve. Yeah. Because I want each artist that signed with us to feel comfortable of saying anything they want.
Yeah, you'd want to make it a sort of a family.
Yeah, exactly. Because I read so much about the great labels I respect. Yeah. And I think how they develop all their artists, you know?
Undergroundsource.co.uk.
So the first release that you're both going to be releasing on the Faceless Recordings imprint is going to be Left Your Love. So talk us through the release, who's on the remix duties, and how long did you keep it there? Have you been keeping this one safe for some time?
Yeah, I mean, Left Your Love, we made it like 8 months ago. Yeah. And the remixes are coming with Silky, Barber, and we had the opportunity to have the remix from the godfather of house music, Frankie Knuckles. So that, I mean, when we learned that Frankie was going to do the remix, I was like so ecstatic, you know, like.
Blown away, yeah. I mean, he really is. He's a real big idol, sort of, in the music industry. It must have been a great feeling for you to sort of get that backing from such an icon, really.
Yeah, when I had the opportunity just to say hi, I said like, hello sir, how you doing? Yeah, it's like, I mean, you know, it's Frankie Knuckles, man. I the only thing that I could say to him, and I said it, is like, thank you for all the things that he did, because without him, we wouldn't be here, you know?
Yeah, there you go. So do you see Frankie Knuckles as a personal icon for yourselves then?
Yeah,
man, totally.
Looking at the Left Your Love release, would you say this sort of sets the tone for what's to come on the imprint?
Yeah, I mean, right now we have upcoming tracks from Moonwalk and another track from Bamboo. And the good thing is that the Moonwalk is really uplifting summer track, but the Bamboo is more dark, you can say, but it has so many interesting elements that makes it very appealing to everybody, you know?
Brilliant. Alright, so have you got any Ibiza gigs lined up already this summer? Are you planning to go out there?
Yeah, we got, we're coming in June. Yeah. We want to have residence. We're going to Sankeys and
we're going to Moda. Yeah. Destino Beach Club. That's a new one from Pacha.
Yeah.
And Privilege.
Alright, brilliant. Definitely. Well, I'll be out there in June sometime, so I'll be sure to give you a call, guys.
Yeah.
Man.
Let's go for a drink.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Pina colada.
All right. So, other than your love release, what can Climbers fans expect from you in the coming months in terms of releases?
In May we have an upcoming release with Off Recordings.
Yeah.
That one comes with a remix from JMO and Andy. And then afterwards we have a new release with Culprit called Criminal Love.
Yeah.
That comes with Clarion North remix. And then we have Get Physical.
Yeah.
With It's All I Need with a remix from Siopis.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, yesterday we were assembling our studio, so we're gonna start working on our album.
Awesome. And when, have you any idea when the album will be out or a title yet?
No, we're starting from scratch.
Yeah, 2014 maybe.
Awesome. Just tuning in last weekend, we went back to BBC Radio 1, your track with Blondish, known as Town Joker on Get Physical Music, was played on ID's BBC Radio 1 show last week. How does it even feel to sort of have your tracks played out on such a massive radio station?
I mean, it's great, especially because it was just lady girl show. So, I mean, if you're surrounded with just girls and those girls are so talented, they're pretty. I mean, I'm happy.
And you're the only two guys, so...
So you were happy to do the track with them, were you?
Yeah.
Totally.
That's a resounding yes.
Yeah, man. How can I not be happy to be played on Radio 1 with Heidi, and especially with just girls?
Yeah. I can feel you on that one, definitely.
Yeah.
So this one sort of moves out to any sort of people that are out there now who are struggling as artists, and it might sort of help them sort of find a path. You guys have had such an amazing sort of 2 years, and have you got any sort of advice for people, sort of like artists, DJs, producers, any sort of advice for them to sort of get themselves noticed these days?
They have to love what they're doing. If you love to do music, it's the same if you love to make food or whatever. You have to put all your heart in that thing.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Maybe it's going to sound a little bit cheesy, but you have to believe in yourself. And it doesn't matter if someone's telling you you're not going to make it. You really believe in yourself. You really are putting your passion, in this case, in your music. You're going to make it, definitely. And of course, be positive and happy.
Definitely.
I think that's the best advice.
Yeah, and I mean, at the moment, I do feel, and maybe social media is sort of is probably a factor in this. Is that people are too worried about what others may think about their tracks. Do you guys sometimes worry about some of the tracks you make? You sometimes worried about what other people will think, or do you just go with your heart and just release what you feel is right?
To tell you the truth, when we go to the studio, we have a rule of not hearing any kind of music,
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get a sense of, okay, we have to go this way or go that way. Instead of that, we just try to go with the flow and just make the best of it, like the best tracks we have been making are done by 3 hours,
Yeah.
The ones that we worked so hard that didn't even make the cut for us. So sometimes it's good to hear what other people think, but first of all, you have to understand that when you're creating something, it's yours.
Yeah,
completely. Once you put it out there, what people think, it's valid, their opinion, because it's out there,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's real sound advice as well. Alright, well, cool. Thanks very much for doing this interview, guys. I wish you all the best for the future. Just before you go, do you just want to introduce your first ever release on your own imprint, Faceless Recordings?
Hi, this is Jay.
I'm Kiko with Climbers.
And you're gonna listen to Left Your Love from Faceless Recordings.
Stay up to date with the UGS podcast and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/UGS Music News.
You'll regret it when you've gone away. And don't
undergroundsource.co.uk. Undergroundsource.co.uk.
So that was my first interview with Climbers earlier, first one for the UGS podcast, and Andy Young will be just on after this next track by Dale Howard called Undercover, and it's soon to be released on a new label emerging from Sheffield known as No More Noise, and is due out 6th of May.
Stay up to date with the UGS podcast and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/UGS Music News.
I'll be loving you.
With the UGS Podcast and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/UGS Music News.
So last week I caught up with Andy Young, the man responsible for Ibiza's most impressive workers' party known as Departure. He has a Sankeys manager role this season and he's also throwing the Vertigo Festival in August, which has a huge lineup. So I caught up with Andy whilst he was in the Sankeys Ibiza office, and here's how it went.
Hi Paul, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, Andy. How are you, mate?
Not bad myself.
Very good, very good.
Work. Same as.
Busy, so I hear you're sat in Sankeys now then, are you?
Yeah. It's been raining today, unfortunately. Bit shit. Working away for the season now. I'm just about to announce carnival lineups today. So,
very good, very good. Let's get started then. So, you must be extremely busy at the moment. You know, you're taking Departure back out to Ibiza this season. You've taken on a Sankeys Ibiza manager role. You're doing the press for Manchester's Menic Matty clothing, and you're also organising Vertigo Festival. I mean, what's life like at the moment with so much going on?
Hectic, always planning. I've not put a party on in 6 months, so it's been planning.
Yeah, very good.
Everything.
So what are you sort of like most looking forward to then over the summer?
To be honest, it's our opening party on the 22nd.
Yeah.
Last year, about 500 people in. This year, and it was amazing.
Very good.
Best party we put on there.
Very good, very good.
Hopefully the same again.
Not bad. So what's your background then? Like, how did you get involved with everything that you're doing now?
I've been coming out to Ibiza for this is my 5th year now.
Yeah.
Started out as a ticket seller and just saw people doing it and thought I could do a better job. So I've been working my way up from the bottom. Started out putting my friends on in the back room of Savannah.
Yeah.
Now it's moved on to putting international DJs on now in Sankeys and other major clubs.
Very good, very good. Alright, so we'll start off with the Sankeys related stuff then, sort of your Ibiza manager role that you have throughout the season. What will sort of your role entail? Like, what will you be in charge of?
Basically, I'm doing all the logistics and the planning for the artists. So my job's basically to do the contract, the flights, hotels, basically looking after the DJs when they're on the islands.
So you'll be picking them up from the airport, taking them to the...
not me personally, I'll be organising that though.
Alright.
So hopefully won't lose anything.
Good stuff. And I mean, it must be a really exciting time for Sankeys right now, especially now that the Manchester club's closing down. What's sort of vibe throughout the Sankeys Ibiza team right now?
It's excitement, to be honest. We're really looking forward to it. I think the 3rd year is going to be the biggest yet by far.
Yeah.
Big changes to the club. New parties are joining us. Others have stayed. So I think it's going to be special. Definitely.
I mean, it definitely does look like the biggest season so far for the Sankeys Ibiza brand. So
we've got a solid lineup every single day.
Yeah, you have. And I mean, you know, I was looking at dates to sort of go out to Ibiza myself, and it's just I don't want to go anywhere else. I'll go Monday to Sunday at Sankeys. That's fine.
So it's a strong lineup. Like, everything's amazing.
Alright, so I mean, there must be some pressure for the club, you know, now the Manchester club's closed down. Who will be the sort of people that will be pulling the key strings to ensure the club succeeds?
As always, it's David. He's shutting down Manchester to focus on the Ibiza now. He's basically planning away for that. I think the closing's on the 5th and 6th of May, so that'll be a bit special. We're all flying back for that, so we'll be in Manchester for that.
Brilliant, good stuff.
And focuses on the Ibiza opening parties on the 23rd, and then we've got a solid lineup of about 120 parties over the summer.
Looking at all the parties, and what sort of party sort of stands out for you?
Well, for me, it's Viva Warriors, just we're doing the side room for that one.
Yeah, that's for your Departure Furies, right?
Yeah. So we'll have Chad Andrew, Belisarius, Brett Jacobs, and Randall M, and then we'll have our existing residents, Oliver Drops and Thomas Olivier, and then few guests.
I mean, every time I've gone out to Sankeys sort of working out there's always been a Workers' Free guest list. Will there be one this season?
Not to the same extent, but we will always look after workers. Be like free entry before one, that sort of thing. There'll be season wristbands as well this year. But I mean, as the club gets busier, not as much free stuff will be given out, but for friends.
So we'll move on to departure related stuff then, which is obviously close to your heart. And I mean, just explain to me how did the whole thing start? What sort of ignited the Departure brand?
Basically, I met my two partners in Ollie. They're both called Ollie, out in Ibiza sort of 3 seasons ago now. And we sort of planned it for a few months and started out in Manchester in March 2011. Did a couple of parties there and then headed out to Ibiza 2 years ago now. Just putting parties on at Savannah Backroom, then Ithaca, and then we did a one-off at Sankeys.
Brilliant.
And then last year we smashed it, had a load of fun with Ithaca and Sankeys again.
Yeah, and it was hard not to notice the Ithaca parties. I mean, some of the lineups you were putting on were phenomenal.
Yeah, it was amazing. I think my birthday was a specialist. We had Climbers that you've just spoken to, and then Louis Fresco.
Oh.
And that was a free party for workers.
It was a bit of a Mexa Records really showcased them, weren't it?
I was very, very lucky to catch them. But, party.
Undergroundsource.co.uk.
Alright, so are you excited for the opening party at Sankeys with your Departure Furies?
Yeah. Well, before that, we actually got the whole club to ourselves on the 25th of May. We're doing an off-records showcase with Andre Crom, Couto, Sante, and a few other residents. So that should be really special. That's the first time we've done a super club in Ibiza. So. Yeah.
And would you say that's probably one of your biggest lineups that you've put on?
This will be the biggest party we've ever put together, yeah, definitely.
Brilliant news. So, now that you've got your Departure Furies alongside Viva Warriors every Sunday, what are you going to sort of put up your sleeve to ensure people coming into your room, or do you feel that the Departure brand now is strong enough just for people to walk in?
I think I've been working very hard on this podcast that we've been putting out to give the people an idea of the sound we're going to have.
Yeah.
So we've made sort of deep tech. I've got very solid residents, and then we'll have a few special guests that really bring something.
Yeah. And just for people who want to find the podcast, where can they find that podcast?
It's on SoundCloud. It's soundcloud.com/Departure Ibiza. And it's also on iTunes. You can just search for it on that.
Alright, so going on to Vertigo Festival then, which is obviously an exciting festival that's never really been done on the scale as high as it is, really. How did you find the location?
Basically, I got approached by the guy that owns the hotel, along with a guy called Luke Ferrugia. He was basically got this hotel at the base of the Olympic ski jump from 2006 to win Olympics. So he just like, right, got a few ideas. Do you want to put a festival on the site? It's amazing flat space in the mountains. 1,500 metres high, it's surrounded in an amazing valley. And,
I was going to say, what sort of caught your eye for the location then? When was the first time you actually flew out?
I've been lucky enough to be living there for the last 4 months actually. From November till March I was living out there.
I mean, I couldn't help but notice the photo you put on Facebook yesterday with the view along the journey to the location.
And that's what it looks like. That's the campsite you can see there. So
that is just incredible, must admit.
Everything else is on the beach somewhere. We're doing it in the mountains.
It's something different, and I suppose that's what the industry needs these days. So fair play.
It's still really hot. It's living like 25-30 degrees, blue skies. It's not like, I know it's in the mountains, but it is very South Europe. So
it was nice warm weather. Very good. Alright, so looking at the lineup then, who would you say were like the biggest artists playing at the festival?
As soon as I got involved, I had to get the Viva Warriors involved. Sankeys involved. So we've got Martinez brothers, Steve Lawler, Guti, Julian Perez, Darius, Syrossian, Enzo Syrossian.
I mean, it really is just a massive lineup, I must admit.
It's a privilege to have a budget like that.
It is, it is.
Being able to express yourself with that many DJs.
Yeah, exactly. As a whole then, would you say you've enjoyed the journey so far? And if you was to sort of highlight one spot that sort of set everything off, what would you say it was?
I think it was the first time I came to Ibiza was the start. Came up for my 21st birthday.
And what year was that?
6 years ago now.
6 years?
6 years ago in September. So I came out for a week and just knew I'd be here for life.
Yeah.
now in year 5 living here. And just love
It really does have that effect on you, I must admit.
Yeah, it's an amazing place.
Brilliant. Alright, so any sort of promoters out there, if you could give them any sort of advice, quick advice, what would you give them?
I mean, do something different, step out from the crowd, just do something different, that's the main thing. A guy called Ross, who's the resident at Fuse, sat me down and said that to me 3 years ago, and that's what stuck with me. Yeah.
Alright, that's good news. Good advice as well. Alright, well thanks very much, Andy. Good luck throughout the summer. I'll no doubt see you at Sankeys at some point and Departure.
Okay, cool. That's good to speak to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andy.
Undergroundsource.co.uk.
So that was my interview with Andy Young, who's certainly set for a big summer this year. His biggest so far, and his hard work is obviously paying off for him. Vertigo Festival. You can still grab your tickets for the event, so check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/Vertigo Festival Italy, and this will keep you up to date with everything related to the festival. It's up in the mountains and certainly set for some great weather, as Andy Young touched upon in his interview. The likes of Steve Lawler, the Martinez Brothers, Reboot, Guti, Flash Mob, Finn Basson, Darius, Syrossian, Hot Since 82, Job, and Climbers, and a load more talented artists are all there, so get your tickets and don't miss out. Now I'm going to give you a taste of what's to come from Departure in 2013. Andy has been working endless hours to ensure the sound of 2013 is Departure's best yet, and one of his main focuses lately has been on the Departure podcast. So if you're keen on finding out about that, just check out their SoundCloud page at soundcloud.com/Departure@Ibiza. Now the 2 tracks in the background of the interview were from one of Departure's residents, Brett Jacobs, and I'm about to play you one of his tracks he did with Patrice, then finish with the UGS Guest mix from Butch. It's called Preserve the Light and is a sound I can't wait to hear on the island this summer.
And the purpose of this underground is to find out how to preserve the light, life, the culture, how to keep things living. You see, I keep thinking that what we need is a new language. A language of the heart. Some kind of language between people that is a new kind of poetry. It's the poetry of the dancing bee that tells us where the honey is. And I think that in order to create that language, you're going to have to learn how you can go through a looking glass into another kind of perception where you have that sense of being united to all things. And suddenly, you understand everything.
Undergroundsource.co.uk.
Then our people see it a little differently. They're feeling that there'll be these pockets of light. Springing up in different parts of the world, and that these will be in a way find out how to preserve the light, life, the culture, how to keep things living. You see, I keep thinking that what we need is a new language. A language of the heart. Some kind of language between people that is a new kind of poetry. It's the poetry of the dancing bee that tells us where the honey is. And I think that in order to create that language, you're going to have to learn how you can go through a looking glass into another kind of perception where you have that sense of being united to all things. And suddenly, you understand everything.
Get ready for the best upcoming, homegrown and global artists from the underground electronic music scene. This is the UGS Guest Mix.
So up next and closing the brand new UGS podcast is Butch and his UGS Guest Mix. You can catch him playing at Gorilla on the 10th of May for Exhibit. You can find a link with all the information you need to know in the description below. I'd like to thank you for listening to the UGS podcast. Hopefully you've liked the sound. Give it a share if you can. And I'll see you next month on the 1st of June.
You're listening to the UGS Guest Mix. Guest Mix. Guest Mix. Guest Mix. Guest Mix. Guest Mix.
You are listening to Butch.
undergroundsource.co.uk.
Cause this world is so cold and mean.
UGS Guest Mix. is the UGS Guest Mix. Associate with the UGS Podcast and subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/UGS Music News. undergroundsource.co.uk.
Bring me back to the where we first began. diamonds and rings. Lucy at the sky, I'm about to go high. There's no more sorrow on my soul. Say goodnight, say goodnight, say goodnight, say goodnight, say goodnight, say goodnight, say goodnight. Say goodnight.
information on everything included in this podcast by visiting the UGS podcast feed at undergroundsource.co.uk.